And welcome back, everyone, to World Team League 2022 Winter Code S, our second match of the day. We just wrapped up the CranKy Ducklings versus Team GP, and now we are diving in to Invictus Gaming versus Onsyde Gaming.
Let's go. As I burnt my tongue.
Oh no! I was gonna ask, what did you eat during the break? What were we eating?
Cheesy mushroom pasta.
Oh.
Yeah.
Nice. Take care of your tongue, puppy. Take care. Because we are here, and we are here to bask in the glory of the one true God. Crank, of course, as well as Maru. Onsyde Gaming, a relatively new team to the scene, but a very powerful team.
Yeah, they're pretty good. They might be new, but they're pretty good. They're not bad.
They're not bad. You know, they've got I've heard that they maybe have a G5L player in their midst that's actually going to be playing today.
One of those.
You know, they just got one of those in the back. You know, no big deal. But yeah, they're actually coming out strong with one of each race: Coffee versus Solar, XY versus Neeb, MacSed versus Maru. Oh my, quite a powerful lineup here from our teams.
Yeah, very exciting. Definitely excited to see Neeb being brought out, as well as Maru going up against MacSed. So looking forward to my TVP masterclass, unless there's any big upsets there.
Yeah, exactly. Recently, these past couple of weeks, of course, it makes sense that WTL, they have been fielding Rex or even Scarlet, and it makes sense because they are more in a relevant time zone for this tournament. They don't have to wake up too early. It is in the evening for them instead in Korea. But Neeb actually waking up early today. We're waking up early this week.
Love to see it, as we do have the first couple players being shown off here. First up going to be Coffee with a nice little 8 in offense. And he will be going up against Solar.
Oh, Solar, again, a very powerful player. I don't know if I would call him a B player, to be honest. I'm having some Cure flashbacks where they were calling him B as well, and I'm like, what the hell is going on? Yeah, he's one of the best Zerg players that Korea has to offer.
Bless you.
Thank you. Oh my god. My body is just wants to reject the B, okay? It wants to reject it, puppy. Ay.
Allergic to Terran. But it's going to be okay, because we do have, as well as Solar being quite the favorite here in this matchup, we do have a disgustingly Zerg favored map, as most are. It is Cosmic Sapphire. Nice big wide map. Nice gold base there as well. I'm going to keep talking so you don't have time to respond. As we do have spawning here in the top left-hand corner of the map, it is the blue Terran playing for IG. It is Coffee.
And in the bottom right-hand corner of some call it Cosmic Sapphire, but really it's the Terran map. Onsyde Gaming, it is Solar. God, what kind of propaganda are you trying to spread here on this? Look, I know you haven't been on here in a couple of days. I know it's been like a week since your last time casting, but mate.
Mate, you just said some call it Cosmic Sapphire, but we're gonna call it the Terran map. We're gonna change it. ESL Terran map.
Oh my god. I mean, mate, have you seen the layout? It's big, but sometimes big things, they can be deceiving. It's not all it seems to be on the surface.
You're coping. You're coping hard.
As of course we're getting into our game, nothing crazy so far. It's great to start things off with a bit of a TVZ. You love to see it. Who doesn't enjoy it? Especially, when we're including a Terran player that isn't really known for mech.
Yeah, and that is one thing that I was thinking about while you were saying that. This is a map that we have seen Terrans tend to mech on a little bit, just because of the size, because of the relative difficulty in getting past that 4-base phase. Can be nice to just kind of simplify your game plan a bit, not have to rely on getting too much damage here. But we do see Coffee going for something a little bit different here. He's going to be getting a reactor first, so looking for some aggression.
Interesting. We actually saw Bjorn whip this out quite frequently earlier today in ESL Open Cup Asia,
Hmm.
going for the reactor first. I think Special was doing it as well, so it seems to
Hmm.
be making a little bit of a resurgence here. Just a little bit of a greedier play here, not really too concerned with scouting with any kind of Reaper, just going to be, yeah, focusing on those Marines instead.
Yeah, you just skip out on scouting, but at the same time, the quicker Marines do make you pretty safe from any pull first aggression. We just see that factory being made here as well. So, yeah, as you're referring to, this is something that Beyond's been doing a lot. He does have a lot of builds that he can do off the reactor first. It's a very nice opening in that way in
Mhm.
balancing your range of builds. And you can use these marine move outs just to knock back any overlords to prevent the Zerg from scouting which variation you're doing.
Yeah, exactly. And we'll see what variation it's going to be. Solo's going to send his first Ling across the map, but with 3 Marines here in position, the Ling will not find a way in. Nice reaction from Solo, going to be able to pull back in time. And we can see that Coffee behind this is going for a 1-1-1.
Yeah, just a standard 1-1-1 build. This is something that we've seen Beyond do a lot. I actually like to call it the Beyond build when you go for this reactor first into basically anything. But we are seeing that he's going to be reactoring out those 6 Marines and then going into Hellions. So this is a bit of an old school build. It can lead into a Marine drop with a Hellion attack. It'd be interesting to see if that's what he's going to go for.
I love how there's like 2 to 3 to 4 even different things that like Terrans can do that we just say, oh, it's the Beyond build.
Yeah.
Just, just like this, the Marines, they move out a little bit early, a little bit prematurely, going to be applying a little bit of pressure here towards this third base, going to be ideally forcing out some Lings, but not going to be overcommitting here. Coffee doesn't want to lose his Marines too soon.
Yeah, nice scout there coming out from Solar. He's going to see the 1-1-1. That's very important because this did look like a 2-1-1 opening. Or a 3-Rax as well is the other thing it could be. But we are going to be seeing Coffee moving out with those Hellions, and we are seeing that medevac after all. So it's going to be an 8 Marine drop on top of the Hellion aggression. This Marine drop usually going to be headed towards the main, but can pair up with Hellions as well.
Yeah, exactly. We'll see if he's going to be able to break through the defenses of Solar. Solar has been pumping out non-stop queens. Meanwhile, we even have a Roach Warren being thrown down instead of a Bailey Nest for Solar. So going to go for a little bit more of a robust defense instead. Of course, going to take a while for those Roaches to come into play. Only going to be relying on Lings and Queens for now.
Yeah, pretty heavy response going for that Roach Warren. I have to wonder if he's expecting Coffee to go for a 2-base all-in, which Coffee isn't doing actually. Throwing down a quick 3rd CC, going to be playing a pretty standard 2CC game.
Oh my god!
That was terrifying.
Solar, don't do that to me, Buffius. For one moment there, he bunched up all of his drones. Thankfully, he did recognize that mistake. He did pull back in time, and only 2 drones have gone down. But at the same time, Coffee also hasn't thrown away his Hellions.
Yeah, it looks like Coffee had a little bit of a strange misclick there, just sending a lot of his mineral line over to build that Rax, but he's getting his extra Raxes and eBays on the way. He's sending out a Liberator as well. This is a very unusual time to have a Liberator. I think this will be pretty surprising for Solo.
Yeah, especially because a lot of the queens are on the front lines, not towards his fringe bases. So Liberator could find a little bit of damage. I'm sure Coffee would ideally like to pair up this with his Hellion aggression. There we go, the Hellions are headed towards that 3rd base, but a Spore is in position and the Liberator is deterred for now.
Yeah, looks like he just get eyes on that Liberator moving out with his scouting, and Coffee just going to be trying to set up a bit of a multi-prong play here with those Hellions and Marines. And more importantly, he is keeping Solar on the back foot.
Yeah, exactly. As we say that, Solar is now moving out with his Lings. I'm sure going to be trying to get eyes on whether or not there's a 3rd base or what's going to be on the front line. There we go. He does dip on in. Oh, the wall is not a wall. He's going to be able to get a kill on some of these Marines and also confirm the 3rd.
Yeah, actually, this is getting out of control pretty quickly, and Solar going to get some nice damage with these Lings, taking down just the 2 SCVs, but resetting the Marine count as well.
Yeah, very nice trades here from Solar. At the same time, we have that 8 Marine drop towards the south. It looks like it's going to shave off some Lings here or there. Liberator going to be rerouting towards that main or that 3rd base. Hellions moving out as well. But again, resetting that Marine count was pretty huge. It will kind of weaken the follow-up push.
Yeah, this is some nice multitask coming out from Coffee, but Solar being such a strong player is more than up to the task here.
Yeah, he does force that medevac back, does clean up all 8 of those Marines. At the same time, that Liberator is dealing some damage. Don't get me wrong, 3 drones are going down. Nice, but it looks like outside of that, actually going to be holding his ground here.
Yeah, being very annoying with this Liberator. I have to point out as well, one of the most important things that Coffee's getting done with this opener is keeping the creep spread back. This is something that we saw Maru really prioritizing when he brought back this this single Marine drop and Hellion build. He would make a Raven as well, just to really stay on top of the creep spread.
Oh yeah, he knew, mate. He listened to Twitch chat. And oh my god, at the same time, the massive link run by the wall once again is not a wall. He's gonna get on top of this tank. Once again, he gets on top of the Marines, and now he has free reign of the natural.
Solar has been absolutely killer with these Ling run bys, sending just the perfect amount of Lings in to get damage, and he's denying so much mining time here. This is such a pain for Coffee. Brings all the Hellions home as well, which means that Solar can fix his creep spread.
Oh, and even a couple of those Hellions get... Oh my god, 3 Hellions get picked off, only a single Hellion remaining in the end. Coffee forced to come back, and as you were saying, now Solar has that freedom to just spread as much creep as possible. He doesn't have to worry about these run-bys anywhere near as much, and he's actually transitioning Ling Bane alongside Hydras.
Yeah, Solar has done such a good job here buying himself space, throwing down that 5th base as well, going to be spreading out his creep, and Coffee, you can see that his Marine count's been hurt so badly by all these run-bys.
Yeah, because of that, these drops honestly aren't as threatening as they should be. He's going to be able to clean up a lot of this creep, don't get me wrong, but once the army shows up, he's going to be forced back.
Zerg. See, as soon as that creep gets spread, there's like 17 creep tumors queued up right where they got cleared.
The power of the queens, Poppy, the queens. Oh my god, and yeah, Solar has plenty of said queens. Meanwhile, Coffee, you know, he's not out of this yet. He's working on 2-2, working on his 4th CC. It does mean that he can't be as aggressive as I'm sure he wanted to be, but he's still being active at least.
Yeah, he is, and he's actually doing a really good job keeping on top of this creep spread. Might even get a queen, just doesn't manage to, but he is doing a good job of being active out on the map, like you're saying.
Yeah, he really is. Are you okay? You're like, oh, Lunker then. Ay, just get me out of here, Poppy.
This animal trying to win the game. Disgusting.
How dare he get further ahead? How dare he listen to Day 9? Who does that? He doesn't even play StarCraft anymore.
Who?
Whoa, whoa. Oh my god. As Solar, he's being a little bit cheeky, mate. He's even getting borrowed. Oh my god.
Yeah, Solar really feeling free to just tech in every direction right now. Getting the burrow, getting the lurkers on the way, going up to Hive, getting his 2-2 upgrades finished up here as well, and just overall feeling very comfortable in this game.
Yeah, exactly. We do have a couple of double drops being set up here, but Solar's able to split up his army to deal with this. At the same time, he does have eyes on the 4th base as it is being taken. And again, as a result, like these drops just haven't really been able to deal too much damage. Unfortunate Q, or fortunate, depending on how you look at it. You know, he does bait out a couple of those Banelings.
Yeah, not bad trades there, taking out Banelings for Marines, but yeah, just really not able to get too much done with this multi-prong, and Solar feeling his advantage as he maxes out. He's going to be setting up to deny this 4th.
Oh, exactly. Here we go. There's only a single tank in production. Again, we saw a couple of tanks earlier getting picked off. There's just far too much Ling Bane. The tank will end up falling, and honestly, Solar can keep pushing.
Yeah, good control coming out from Coffee, but this is an overwhelming force coming through by Solar. He doesn't really mind taking bad trades here. He's just going to completely reset the army of Coffee, and there's just too much here. Solar with a comfortable first game.
GG, well played. He will take that game in the end. We saw Coffee having an interesting opener, of course, you know, pairing up with his faster Marines and pushing out with his Hellions, but over time it did feel like he didn't end up losing a little bit of control of that game.
Yeah, I have to agree as well, but at the same time, he did kind of set the groundworks for something a little bit more sneaky in this game too. He opened firstly Reactor First, which means that he can play another Reactor First build and had that a little bit hidden. And he also went for a quick 3rd, so that's going to make Solar be in 2 minds about whether it's a 2-base all-in. So I'm expecting 3 racks into 2-base all-in.
I was gonna say the same thing. On Moondance, especially because of the short rushes by ground, opening up Reactor First with 2 more racks behind it, mate. I can see that doing well.
Yeah, this is a very short rush distance map. This is a map that there's a lot more potential for aggression coming out from Coffee. And Coffee, he's an aggressive Terran, and here he is spawning in the top left-hand corner for Invictus Gaming. Coffee.
And in the bottom right-hand corner, leading the series 1-0 for Onsyde Gaming, Solar.
Here we go.
Yeah,
You can call this a Terra map. This is a bit of a Terra map.
You beat me to it. That's exactly what I was going. Once again, another Terran map.
Yeah, here we are spawning in on ASL Terran map.
Number 2.
Which one?
Just say that. That's every map, Poppy. That's every map.
Spawning in on ESL Terran map pool.
Now, but jokes aside, thankfully we'll be moving on from this Terran pool. That shout out to the TLMC. As the Team Liquid map contest is currently going on, and in the chat you can make your vote count and stop the tyrannical Terrans from just wreaking havoc upon all of these poor Zergs. Feels bad, man, but feels good, man, because we will have some change.
The new maps are they're making me real sad. Map makers are just like, Terrans, we heard you like having fourth bases, and we just hate you.
It's balanced, Poppy. It's make the map pool fair again. That's all it's about, Poppy. Look, you got your G5L, you got it. What more do you want? What, you want G7L? 8? When does it end? When does it end?
Maru map pool Terran confirmed. Disgusting.
Oh my god. Jokes aside, we do not have a reactor first here from Coffee. He has opted to go for something a little bit more standard. Does go for the Reaper instead.
Yeah, just going for a very standard 1-1-1. Not going to be playing any mind games with that reactor first opening. Does feel confident just to play a standard game on Moondance.
Yeah, interesting. I mean, something to bear in mind is that always map number 2 is a little bit more prepared from the players, just because it is, of course, their map pick, and they have been thinking about this series for the entire week. So I'm curious if there are going to be any kind of interesting twists and turns here to his build.
Been thinking about this one for years.
For years, Bobby. Ever since birth, how do I dance in the moonlight?
How do I beat Solar?
How do I beat Solar?
It's a question that we're all thinking.
How do I avoid the sun?
Yeah, as we see some very nice link positioning coming out here from Solar, but Coffee quick enough to get that Reaper out of there is going to be able to keep that alive and get that all-important scouting as he starts up a few Hellions at home, and it does look like going to be playing a 3cc Banshee.
Oh, yeah, exactly. We did see that 3rd CC on the way, so something a little more macro-oriented. But of course, that 3rd CC is also on location. Coffee making use of the features of said map to be able to get a little bit ahead economically here, or get that little bit of an economic boost, if you will.
Yeah, and I think I'm lying. I don't know if there's actually a starport at all.
Yeah, look, I just said yes, okay? I was trusting in your eyes to see the production tab, because we don't have the power of the camera right now, okay? We're just
True.
We can't check.
Yeah,
Oh my God.
we do see some extra access going down. This is we actually saw Ryung play something like this against Dark on Tropical Sacrifice, I think it was, in the team league a couple weeks ago, and it is a pretty interesting build for these smaller maps where you can be a little bit greedy, skip out on those starport units, and go for a very fast stim, very fast double racks as well.
Yeah, there we go. Meanwhile, Solar, he's going to be taking a peek into the main base for the first time here, alongside us, as we all now have confirmation that there is no starport. But we do have those Rexes, as you were pointing out, double NG bays as well. Of course, the medevacs are going to be a little bit delayed, but with the delayed medevacs, we will have an influx of those Marines.
Yeah, we should see a starport and 2 more racks going down just about now, going into that pretty standard 5 racks, but just kind of skipping out on the starport units. It's a nice little way to cut a corner against a player that you know is more defensive.
Exactly, and Solar is currently being defensive. He hasn't gone for any kind of run bys. It's kind of harder to do that sort of thing on Moondance just because of the map layout. So a really smart way of kind of approaching this map overall, Coffee.
Yeah, I agree. And good movement by the Hellions here as well. He's going to be able to take out a few of these creep tumors, and it's going to be very important because he does have a nice strong tank push coming up.
Yeah, that he does. That tank count is getting ever so higher. A little bit of a misclick. We have a random Reaper on the way as well, but you know he can make use of it. He can throw down some KDA charges and have some Ling Bane being flung up into the air. I believe, Bobby. I believe.
Yeah, this is something that I used to see it in Clem games all the time. It was a really funny thing. He's so good with his Reaper, he'd just never lose it. And you'd see it like halfway into the mid game, and he'd just throw down this KDA charge, yeah, bounce all the Banelings away. It's actually pretty good. It's actually really helpful.
It's cracked,
man.
man.
Bane push.
Hey, man, that's the next meta for Twitch chat. You know, it's why doesn't the Terran just make a Raven, man? It's why doesn't the Terran just make a Reaper? Oh my god, like it just makes sense. It makes sense. And speaking of making sense, Coffee is now moving out across map. This was spotted by that spotter Ling. Did get eyes on those Marines as they moved.
Yeah, Coffee's done Solar's done a fantastic job with his scouting all throughout this series, really showing his caliber as a player, but it does look like Coffee's got a pretty nice push here, organized at the front.
Yeah, exactly. He does wedge himself here in between the mineral line. We do have the forming of all those Hellbats. Ling Bane is waiting here. We have 13 Banelings on the way. Forces a cancel on the 4th.
Yeah, nice cancel there as we do see all these Banelings coming in. Going to be very important to get this pick up, but Coffee really botching the micro there and big reaction in the camera.
Oh my god, I didn't even see his reaction because I was reacting. Yeah,
Coffee is not happy. This is a build that relies so much on momentum. The big advantage that you're getting from skipping those starport units is having a high Marine count, and it's so important to leverage that high Marine count. And yeah, Coffee's just lost all of his momentum in this game.
Yeah, exactly. Thankfully, he does have that second Reaper, and with that, he's going to be able to poke in a little bit. But as you were saying, Solar, he was double expanding at the time, so he's already got a 4th base. He's got a 5th and a 6th on the way as well, as he is getting 3 hatcheries, 4 hatcheries at once. Oh my god. He's got 2-2 on the way, and that creep spread is getting a little bit out of hand.
Yes, it's a very clever reaction by Solar, realizing that nothing that Coffee can do in the near future is going to hit in the next couple minutes, so he can get away with a lot of greed. He can go into this high hatch count Ling Bane style, and correctly identifying that more aggression is going to be coming out of Coffee. We do see an 8 racks going down, and considering the damage that he's already taken, I don't see how this is going to work.
Yeah, exactly. Like especially when you go for an ARAX, when you go for a 3-base all in, like you need that momentum going your way. You cannot take these early losses, but we'll see if we can try and find a way here. So far with this double drop, you know, clearing up some creep, going to be trading a little bit with the Ling Bane. He needs to do whatever he can to slow Solar down.
Yeah, absolutely. And we are seeing that he is setting up some nice multi-prong here. So Coffee by no means out of this game, but he is really up against the wall here. He's going to have to look for a nice max out timing with his 2-2 and see what he can get done there.
Yeah, the pressure is on Coffee right now, and we do see once again clearing up whatever creep he can, pulling Solar's attention towards the northern portion of the map. Double drop being sent in towards that southern base as well. Ooh, but Solar so far keeping up, but Coffee isn't losing too much.
Yeah, this creep denial is incredibly important here for Coffee. He needs to find a path for his tank push that he has coming, and that tank push will be arriving, I think, in the next 30 seconds.
Yeah, exactly. Here we go. It is nicely lined up with 2-2 as 2-2 finishes up in 10 seconds. Meanwhile, we do have that one singular drop. Again, just keeping the attention of Solar back at home. Meanwhile, here we go. Coffee does step onto creep.
Yeah, we are seeing Coffee clearing out more of this creep, but this does give so much time for Solar. You can see just how important it is to have this creep, as he's able to warp morph in a whole bunch of Banelings here while Coffee is nowhere near his base.
Yeah, exactly. Meanwhile, oh, the Banelings connect as well. The splits were not available. We have a lot of tanks, but half the tanks weren't even in range.
Yeah, Solar doing a really good job there, splitting off the perfect amount of Banelings to clean up those Marines there. And Coffee is in such a rough position here. I like the way that he's maneuvering his tanks forward. He should be able to find some nasty little gaps there to pop them in, but Solar has just got so much killer instinct here.
Yeah, exactly. He dives immediately on top of said tanks, even crashes Banelings into them because he has just so much on the ground. Anyway, there's only a single tank remaining here for Coffee. Does have a lot of Marines, but again, that backbone, not looking so strong.
Yeah, Solar is in such a good spot economically here that he just wants to crush this push. He doesn't mind if he takes a bit of a rough trade here and there. He just wants to get right on top of the reinforcements of Coffee. And we do see nice reactions there, getting the wall up.
Yeah, the wall is a wall, but the reinforcements do get caught out nonetheless. Another basing connection there on those Marines. And what's scary is that Coffee is forced back home when he's pretty committed, when he has to keep on going. He actually starts 3-3.
Yeah, Solar has really pushed Coffee out of position here, and Coffee feeling a bit of the pressure here now to get that max out going once again before he fully commits to a push. He's going to multi-prong a little bit here as well, but Solar has shown that he's very good at splitting up his Ling Bane where it needs to be.
Yeah, it's one of those things where it looks like Coffee has recognized that he can't, he won't be able to end the game anytime soon. But regardless, like he's still committed to this 3-base play. He still just wants to try and max out and end it, as you were saying. Do have a bit of a drop towards the bottom half of the map. It looks like, oh, he's gonna find his way into the main base, but oh my god, no! And he's gonna lose his medevacs.
Yeah, Solar, very good prophylactic move, having those spores set up there to deal with the drop, and we'll be cleaning that up quite comfortably. And Coffee's multi-prong suddenly just a one prong here, and he is pushing the creep back really well, but Solar, he's already given up this base.
Yeah, he's given it up, but he doesn't even need to give it up because he has maxed out 200 supply with Ling Bane. The creep is still looking quite good, and Solar has enough supply to even go for a counterattack.
Yeah, Solar doing a really good job just getting whatever units he can here. Is going to be continuing to delay this push. Coffee doing a good job being in position there, but of course Coffee, there is no future for him in this game. He has to make this push work. There is no fourth on the way at all. He is all in.
Yeah, he's been all in for a while. He continues to be all in. He will be able to get a kill on this hatchery, but Solar has every other base, and now he's pulling the trigger.
Mate, Solar does not care that there's no base there anymore. Gonna land those blinding clouds, gonna have this huge spread of Ling Bane, and the splits are good, but he is out of map to split on. Everything going down.
Everything goes down, Poppy. We have a couple of Liberators. Nothing shoots up, but it doesn't matter. GG gets called, and Solar will take the series 2-0 and suck on some coffee.
Oh, delicious. I think, yeah,
You okay?
My brain just exploded. I was gonna say how I think he was expecting to be going up against Coffee, but he was up against Coffee. So many ideas in my head.
What are you saying right now?
His cup had coffee written on it because he beat Coffee.
He did. There you go.
I'm sure everyone worked that out ages ago, but it all happened for me at once.
You had a brain blast. You're like, oh my god, he did the thing. He beat Coffee, and then he drank Coffee.
I was like,
it's genius.
Well, like the thoughts that's going through my head that is really confusing me is like, obviously when you get a coffee, it doesn't have coffee written in big letters here, but I'm imagining him like going into a Starbucks and they're like, what's your name? And he's like, coffee. And they're like, no, what's your name? And he's like, coffee. They're like, okay.
I agree. I appreciated that it was very clearly like a random A4 piece of paper that he wrote coffee on, and he taped onto the coffee itself. I appreciate it, as if it wasn't clear that he was drinking coffee.
I mean, some of us need all the help we can get.
Oh my god, shaking my head. Regardless, GG, well played. It's always great to see some of these celebrations, and I also think, you know, maybe I'm feeling a little bit vindicated because if you remember, it was Coffee who had the Oreo celebration where he ate the Oreo when he beat him, so now he gets a taste of his own medicine. Let's go.
Mate, if there's anything that I'm learning from this team league, it's don't name yourself after food and drinks.
Oh my god, true, puppy, true. I mean, you say that, but I think there was a moment in ANZ Champs where I want to say, I think maybe it was Azure or Crimson, where when they beat each other, they had the opposing like colored piece of paper that they tore up. Like,
no.
I think it was Azure. He had like a red piece of paper for Crimson that he tore up. Aye.
Poor man. But yeah, we do have this next game. In the wings, I think XY is another one that we had some pretty funny celebrations for. I seem to remember someone had like the full alphabet like written out, and they like rubbed off the XY.
Oh my god. Yeah, I can't wait to see it here. As of course, we're moving on to the next series, XY versus Neeb. Hopefully, Neeb has been able to wake up in time. You know, it's the second series of the night, so he has had some time to really, you know, gather his thoughts, get some breakfast, get some coffee.
Yeah, got that celebration coffee, I'm sure, ready to go, ready to take on XY. And yeah, Neeb is a player that often, I have to say, I don't see him showing up to the biggest amount of tournaments. He's a player that it can sometimes be hard to know what kind of form he's in, and then he just rocks up to these American regionals out of nowhere and dominates. So yeah, he's I don't know how he stays in such good form all the time, but he really does.
Yeah, Neeb is a very interesting player because I don't think it's much of a surprise to hear this, but a couple of years ago, I think Neeb was even considering retiring. Like he would just show up for the big events, and that's kind of it. I remember he was getting invited to smaller events, and he was saying like, "No, I'm just look." I only do the big stuff, like because I'm on he was on Ting at the time. He's like, it's in my contract to play in DreamHack, and that's why I do it. But that's kind of it, you know. So I think it was really surprising when he joined Onsyde. Everyone was like, oh, okay. I think he wants to keep going. And I remember he had a couple of interviews at the towards the start of the year where he's like, no, like I'm kind of feeling motivated again. Like I want to practice again. Like sure, he's juggling, like he's not full-time pro gamer, but he is taking it seriously, and it's really cool to see him active in more than just those regionals.
Yeah, absolutely. And sometimes just taking it seriously is enough for a player with the incredible talent of Neeb. It's hard to understate just how talented he is as a player.
Oh yeah, exactly. Like there are so many players like that, and sometimes it frustrates me where it's like, you're so good, why don't you play in more stuff? Like, why don't you practice more, Poppy? Seether. But yeah,
mate, you're barking up the wrong tree there.
I know. I know. Starduck. I can keep going. Oreo. But yeah, regardless, like Neeb, he's an amazing player. And we're gonna be seeing some of that here because we don't see him play against some of these other regions too often. You know, he doesn't venture outside of North America too often, at least until like the kind of the cross finals, the grand finals of like Valencia or Atlanta.
Yeah, I know he does ladder on EU from time to time, but in terms of APT weeklies, until now, World Team League, anything like that, it's just not really a player that we see that much of. And that's one of these exciting things about World Team League is those players that do tend to slip under the radar and kind of not play too much in between seasons. They're like forced to play in some ways, and it could be really exciting.
Yeah, definitely. We all just want some more Neeb in our lives. I think that's just the reality. That's just a fact. Also, I'm just catching up in the chat as well. Interesting here. If Coffee ate Oreo and Solar drank coffee, is Oreo inside of Solar?
As here we have the XY has a 10 in mindset. What the hell?
Wait, he does?
Yeah, he's got the weirdest looking hexagon I've ever seen. They're just like, we talked to him and this guy has a brain of steel. But meanwhile, Neeb looking very well rounded. Kind of surprising not to see any 9s, I gotta be honest.
Yeah, I'm surprised as well. Again, maybe it's just because I think we were talking about it earlier. Maybe it's based off of WTL stats, so they don't have a lot of information to work off of. And maybe again, Neeb is a relatively new player, but he's here to really ramp up that score as we are getting ready for our series Map 1 Data Seed.
This 10 in mindset's kind of hilarious.
Does he
Why
have
are
a
they
10
so-
mindset?
Why are
Does
they
he?
so confident about it?
That's the thing. Well, the thing is, like, I'm sure the WTL organizers are far more familiar with XY and far more familiar with like certain memes and stuff like that, and familiar with the player itself. So yeah, I don't know. I wonder if there's a story behind that. Like, was there a day where he like streamed for 48 hours, you know, or like was there like a like was there a day where he lost like 10 series in a row but he was like happy afterwards? Like what event do you have to go through to get a 10 in mindset?
Well, actually, I want to read a little bit from his trivia on Wikipedia because this is something that I remember seeing from him before. He has this theory of
Relativity?
mindset theory.
Oh.
So it says when he's commentating, XY likes analyzing players' performance using mindset theory, where a player with the mindset of the strong would prefer defending to avoid risk, and a player with the mindset of the weak prefers aggression. But he also has wild cards, such as a strong player who uses the mindset of the king to play aggressive and gain advantage. So what I have to ask is XY a prophet that foretold the coming of Mio?
in the forbidden texts, right? In the restricted section of the philosophy, the philosophy of mindset, is there a passage that foretells of the sea rising, of
the mindset of the Ocean King?
Yeah. Of the weather changing, right? Of the ice caps melting, and of the Sea King emerging. And has it been foretold, Papi?
It has been foretold, the mindset of the king. It could only mean one thing. But at the same time, yeah, that is just something that kind of stuck in my head when I read it about XY, which is why I'm remembering it now. And, you know, maybe because he talks so much about mindset theory, they're just like, yeah, this guy knows a thing or two about mindset.
That's what I mean. Aye. So yeah, interesting to hear a little bit of XY and what his PhD thesis was on. Apparently, mindset theory. Dr. XY, as they like to call him. Honestly, though, I wonder. Okay, Asher, you're a player. You're now aware of XY and what he devoted his life to. How do you turn that into a celebration if you beat him?
I think.
Mm.
Hang on.
Okay.
I really do want to see someone do like a celebration where they like draw their opponent's hexagon and they just like hold it up and they're like, rub out one of the stats and like bring it down, and then they're like, yeah.
They have specifically XY's hexagon with the 10, and they rub it out and they correct it and they make it a 1 when they beat him, mate. Oh my god.
They just shove that spike in there.
Oh, that would be brutal, mate. That would be brutal. I like it though. It's crazy because XY is one of the few players with a 10, right? I think it's XY and Maru. I think we're the only one with 10s that we've seen, maybe.
Yeah, I really haven't seen that many 10 scores at all, so it's pretty crazy to have someone with a pretty low overall score. They're just so confident that his mindset is just cracked out of this world.
It's insane, Papi. It's unmatched. It's possible. We're going to have to make a comparison of these hexagons. It's very possible that XY may have the greatest mindset out of every player in World Team League.
And, you know, I think the delay that we have on the game starting now, it's because he's gone to the summit of a mountain to meditate. And they called him down and he said, I will be there when the time comes.
He's like, your mind is of the weak. I will come when I am ready. When my mind says so.
Like, time is a theory of the mindset of the weak. But here he is in the bottom left-hand corner, ready to play the game. It is Invictus Gaming's XY.
And spawning in the top right-hand corner of Data C, Onsyde Gaming's Neeb.
Ooh, feels good to hear.
Oh, exactly, mate. You don't see him too often, and I was gonna say because of the delays, I was really worried that maybe Neeb hadn't woken up, because
I'm back to bed.
we we have had that issue before, with some North American Protoss players. Just saying, but no, it's okay. Neeb is awake. He is here. He is ready for some StarCraft.
Yes, we do have those beautiful player cams being fired up, ready to go. And yeah, for XY already, we're seeing a very fast double gas. So going for that kind of meta style that we were talking about a little bit earlier in Invictus games. Meanwhile, Neeb is going to be a little bit greedy here to skip out on that scout, only scouting around his base for a very, very close proxy, and is instead going to be setting up for this core into Nexus without scouting.
Yeah, no, he's not too concerned with what XY is going to do, and you know why? Because he has the mindset of a king.
Oh, I see.
He is not of the weak, because I'm pretty sure in XY's theory of mindset relativity, if you scout, you're weak.
So you're going to put that in a different way.
What was I going to say?
Don't worry. Wait.
What was I gonna say? Oh god.
Yeah, meanwhile we do see those. We do see those sponsors being showed off by the observer as XY scouts around with this Reaper for any proxies.
Oh no. Well, that's just another way of putting it. Oh god. Well, regardless, we do see, as you were saying, the Reaper just scouting around for proxy, which is honestly interesting to me. I don't know if Neeb is really known for being cheesy, but I guess XY, he's just covering his bases. He just doesn't want to get caught out by anything crazy.
Yeah, the powerful mindset, of course, is to be the defensive player, so he checks all of his boxes, make sure that he's very safe here. But meanwhile, for Neeb, a rather curious opening, see him go Stalker into Sentry. So this is a good way just to be extremely safe against any aggression, considering that he skipped out on his scout.
Definitely. It's a way to get a scout later on, especially with that hallucination. If need be, he also has a force field available as well. Meanwhile, XY is going to try and pull a Vindicta, but
there can only be one.
There can be only one. There's only so much that the mind can do for you, because sometimes you still got to rely on the hands.
Yeah, and actually we're seeing XY go for a very interesting build here, actually a tank drop. This is not something that you ordinarily see in TVP, and maybe just taking advantage a little bit of the fact that he hasn't been scouted yet.
Yeah, very interesting indeed, but at the same time, there it is. The hallucination is going across the map. Will he be able to get on top of the production and recognize that tanks are on the way and not cyclones, as he does confirm at least the production?
Yeah, that Oracle maybe hoping to get an SEV pull, but no bite from XY, and XY is going to be moving across the map with this tank push, and this is a push that I think is designed to deal with Stargate especially, so it's going to be interesting to see how it sizes up against the Twilight opener.
Yeah, exactly. We do see Neeb already trying to chip away at this army. He's trying to force a bit of a siege. He will be able to pick off a couple of these Marines, and there we go, does force that siege.
Yeah, meanwhile, XY picking off a Sentry, that is a very high value pickoff.
Yeah, definitely. Now there is no force field potential here available for Neeb. Meanwhile, XY is edging ever closer with his tank now in range of that gateway.
Yeah, this is a very aggressive opener coming out from XY, getting that second tank in position as well. Has put SEVs too, so he can start to think about getting some bunkers up. Not quite as valuable on this map with the ramp over the top defending, but takes out this gateway quite efficiently. We do see Neeb trying to get the Immortal out though.
This is scary. The second gateway is in range as well. We have a third gateway in production here. Sorry, a fourth gateway even, but now Neeb, he's barely going to be able to warp in, and that Immortal is going to be under threat next.
I didn't even notice that XY was on one base.
Yeah.
I don't know where I'm at. But yeah, it does look like very nice blink coming out from Neeb. He's going to be jumping right on top of those tanks. Gets both tanks. Fantastic trades. And that takes out so much of the staying power of this push.
Yeah, and again, he is Giga all in right now. He has to end the game with what he has. It looks like he will be able to dive on top of that Immortal, but the Overcharge is going to be able to keep this alive. Can he depower it? He will be able to focus down that shield battery, but Oh, the Liberator goes down.
Yeah, at what cost the Liberator goes down. These tanks, of course, been going down does mean that there's just no DPS here for XY. And with that blink, I think we are seeing the end of this push. The medevac goes down, the Marines goes down, and GG is called.
GG, well played, Neeb. Stoic as always. Just maybe a little bit bothered that he had to wake up early for World Team League, but yeah, very solid hold there in the end. Especially after, a shaky start upon losing that sentry, but patient play there with his Stalkers.
He's like, mate, you woke me up for this. You woke me up for these cheesy Terrans. Animals.
Animals, papi, animals. Yeah, just great Stalker movement in the end, coming in from behind that army. You could argue that maybe there could have been a place for bunkers. It did seem like the SCVs were just there for repairs. But in the scenario where we did have Stalkers blink around the army, would there have been a place for maybe a more fortified position? It's kind of hard to say.
Yeah, it might have helped a little bit on the punish, but at the same time, I think Neeb just with a textbook defense though.
Oh yeah, definitely. With that, he takes the first game. Now we're going to be getting into game number 2. As a reminder, game 2 is going to be XY's map choice. And this man, despite being all about that mindset, is still not afraid to dance in the moonlight.
Yeah, absolutely. And he will not be phased by that game, apparently. Not one little bit.
Not one bit, Papi. You know what? He is so unfazed by that game. The king move to do right now is to do the same build again.
Mate, he's just going to close his eyes, pick a build, and just send it.
He's just going to send it, Papi. And maybe, look, all right? I don't know how the mindset philosophy plays into this, okay? But I'm just saying that if Hon Mono was playing last game, he would have pulled all the boys. All right, I mean, you're all in anyway. just pull them all.
Hey, he didn't need them. Didn't need them at all. Had the mindset power. He's like, I'll just pull a few of these boys. I'm gonna macro out of this one.
We'll see how he approaches game number 2 here. Meanwhile, Neeb didn't really get to show off too much in that last game. Typically how it goes when you play against Cheese, I guess. Other than the Twilight Council opener, yeah, we weren't able to glean too much. Oh, I guess what we did see was that he did open up Sentry, was playing very safe.
Yeah, for sure. And that scout was really important for him as well. That Oracle saw everything at the perfect time, and that gave him the knowledge that he needed to start pumping those immortals out, and also helped him conserve his units.
Definitely. Very crucial scout in the end. I'm sure we're going to be seeing something along those lines in the second map as well. I'm unfamiliar with the server picks here, so we're a little bit in the dark as to that, with which game's on US, which game is on Korea. But we'll see. It's also possible that maybe XY went for a one-base all-in just because of that ping disadvantage.
Yeah, I think that would make sense, as here he is spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of the map for Invictus Gaming. It is XY.
One in the top left-hand corner on Onsyde Gaming, it is Neeb.
Alrighty, and we are seeing, once again, everything's going to be at home. Neither player looking to get any proxies out on the map just yet.
Yeah, nothing too crazy here. Of course, you don't need to open up with a proxy to be aggressive on Moonlands, just because the rush distance is so short. Doesn't take long at all to get out on the dance floor in the club.
Yeah, that's for sure. As we do see once again, Neeb with this mindset of the champion, of the defender, is going to be skipping out on that scout.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, he's actually going to be scouting his pocket base here just in case. But again, he's not going to be going out across the map. Just like the previous game, he's just quickly checking around his bases before he does go for his own expand. As I say that, he actually is scouting.
Yeah, just going to be checking around for these proxies with that little bit of extra time on his pro. But yeah, just feeling very confident in his reactions, and rightly so after that first game.
Yeah, I don't blame him whatsoever. Oh boy. I mean, on a map like Moondance, I have to wonder, okay, there we go. We do see XY opening up only with a single gas this time, so no one base shenanigans coming out from our Terran.
Yeah, is going to be playing this one a little bit more of a macro game, and looks like he's gone for the quick reactor as well. So I wonder if we're going to be seeing a 3-Rax coming out.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll keep an eye on the production tab for those additional Raxes. We'll see if XY does end up taking his next gas anytime soon as well. As I believe this time we do have our Stalker coming out. We have no Sentry yet here from Neeb.
Yeah, so we're going to be seeing a 1-1-1 with some extra Marines coming out here. And I have to wonder if this was a little bit of a reaction to the lack of scouting coming out from Neeb in that last game. XY does have the potential here to go for a 6 Marine, 2 Hellion move out, but looks like Neeb this time is going to be sending his Stalker out early.
Yeah, he sends his Stalker out early. Behind this, he also went for an Adept as well, so he is going to be in the face of his opponent. Quite aggressive play here is going to get confirmation of the Marine count, and is going to be able to dance with them and chip away at their HP.
Yeah, nice adjustment to the smaller map, and this is a lot of damage already, punishing XY for skipping out on this bunker. And yeah, this Stalker, every hit that it gets on these Marines does, it is going to be permanent damage for quite a while.
Yeah, exactly. Meanwhile, here we go. Neeb even goes up this ramp as well. And even though we're going to see a death on that Adept, more Marines are getting picked off. We still have 0 mining at the natural base as well. And we even have another Adept coming across the map.
Yeah, this is very clever play coming out from Neeb. The longer that he can whittle away at this Marine count, the longer that is that XY can't retake this low ground and get mining going.
Oh god, exactly. And now with the addition of these gateway units, even though we have a little bit of hull damage on this Stalker, we do see XY trying to chase it down. Every Marine is gonna go down. We only have Hellions remaining. And if XY wanted to go for a certain timing, wanted to go for that Marine drop with Hellions, suddenly, no Marines.
Yes, it's been completely shut down by Neeb, but XY going for something very interesting here, actually going into Cloak Banshees, and I think there is a window where this can be very effective against the opening of Neeb.
I think this is really smart. I have to wonder if this is kind of a reaction to having his Marines chipped away at and his Marine count getting lowered very early on to instead go for a tech lab on that starport. So there is definitely a comeback potential there. Meanwhile, Hellions come across the map. Unfortunately, no Reaper here to knock that Stalker out of position.
Yeah, good wall off there by Neeb. He's just going to switch out that Stalker as well, so not really taking any real damage, and nice pylon placement as well. Is going to be able to scout the rotations.
Oh, yeah. Very interesting pylon placement there from Neeb. Will definitely help him out in his defense. Meanwhile, the first Banshee is moving out. We have a second Banshee on the way as well. Still going to be a couple of moments before we have our Cloak. But what's important is that, again, Neeb is none the wiser. He doesn't see this. Despite that, did follow up with a Robo. He does have an Observer.
Yeah, so just playing things safe here. XY probably just going to bank up these Banshees, send one in from each side, or maybe send them in together to try to outdo any potential shield battery. We do see Neeb actually going to be following up with a Warp Prism, so has the potential for a little bit of a forced Stalker run by, or maybe even a Warp in of Zealots.
Yeah, things can get real crazy real quick here as he moves out. He's going to be able to take down some of those Hellions. It looks like he wants to be active with his Stalkers. At the same time, the Banshees are going to move out. So I feel like he could be losing some workers here.
Yeah, as you were saying, this is going to get pretty crazy here as we do have that War Prism coming in that's going to help with reinforcements. Very good scouting by Neeb as well. Good senses to go for that second Observer. And I think that is actually going to be out in time to help deal with the Banshees.
Yeah, meanwhile, we have a blink into the main base. The tank is going to fall now. 0 tanks in the main base. Boys are being pulled. Neeb has control of the main. It's on XY to deal some counter damage with his own Banshees, but as you were saying, there will be a second Observer back at home.
Oh, yeah, and those Banshees were so slow to go in. A little bit of a delay, maybe waiting for the sign to go in. And yeah, this is almost too late for him as so many SCVs are going down here.
Exactly. The Banshees are being dealt with back at home. We see the production is being camped. There's the one tank that's trying to reposition, but the starport even gets focused down.
Yeah, the starport is going to go down, and that is absolutely disastrous for XY. It's going to be so hard for him to find a way back into this game. And the defense for Neeb, it's good. he is all over the defense.
Yeah, exactly. He may have lost 6 probes, but again, that is nothing compared to what XY has lost, especially because Neeb has a 3rd Nexus. At the same time, like, even though there's another tank in position, I don't know if there's really enough to protect it here. A couple of Marines are being edged out. Another tank pushing on forward here for XY. He is forcing Neeb out.
Yeah, I've seen these tanks leapfrog forward, but yeah, Neeb feeling very confident to just keep warping in these Stalkers for at a time, and he's going to jump on top of that tank. Not the best trade, that's for sure, but he doesn't have to take the best trades here.
Yeah, exactly. His worker count is just immaculate. It is beautiful. It is what you want to be seeing. What's scary is that unless I'm mistaken, I don't believe the starport has been rebuilt.
So unlucky not to catch the observer with that scan there, as yeah, we're not seeing that Stargate being rebuilt, and it looks like XY just going to try to stabilize on tanks and Marines first.
Oh, yeah, exactly. There we go. The starport is now in production, just now starting. Meanwhile, the Stalkers rotate over. Oh, the Marine count not quite high enough to be in both places at once, but it does rotate over, but not before losing 2 of those depots.
Yeah, Neeb, he's going to be happy to just pick away, get damage here as, oh wow, I think DT Blink, we're seeing double upgrades being started up. And yeah, Neeb, very clever player, realizing that this is going to be really hard to deal with.
He's going
to get the tanks. Oh, yeah, I've seen this before, actually.
He dives on top of the tanks. He's going to be able to get it in the main base. I mean, mates, he knows how to abuse his race. At the same time, the Stalkers dive in towards the natural, and they're going to get both tanks.
Yeah, I can't remember who I saw doing this recently, but this is a really clever way to continue a 4-gate blink attack, just using DTs to take out the tank. But yeah, we're not going to see too much there. GG, and Neeb takes a 2-0.
GG, well played, Neeb, despite his mindset not being anywhere near as great and grand as XY. He's still able to take the series 2-0 nonetheless, just like that.
Yeah, very nicely done by Neeb. A nice, comfortable 2-0, and Onsyde showing that their players are really just a step ahead of the league and why they are favorites to take down the entire World Team League.
Oh yeah, they are newcomers and also favorites at the same time. They're looking to walk that royal road if possible. If possible, because we still have 1 series remaining here, and it is going to be a bit of a PVT, a bit of a role reversal though, because Onsyde is the one coming out with the Terran.
Yeah, for sure, and not just any Terran, it is the Terran. It is the 4th race himself. It is Maru.
Oh boy, exactly. Maru is here, the G5L champion himself, winning 5 GSLs, of course. And he is a titan among men, mate. And here we are mere mortals in his presence. Maru is terrifying. MacSed, he's going to have something real special in store for him.
Yeah, I do have to have a bit of a worry for MacSed, as he's a player, I'm sure he does have builds in his back pocket that he can break up for situations like this, but he's a player that we do see, he kind of has his own formula for how he likes to play PvT, does go for the same kind of styles pretty often, and that can be something that's very difficult to make work against a player like Maru, who's so good at adapting to whatever it is against.
Oh yeah, Maru, he adapts. He forces your opponent to attempt to adapt as well. He can be so fluid at times, or again, just dictate the pace of that game. Oh boy. So yeah, I'm glad you at least did say that MacSed, you know, he does have some builds. He definitely can whip something out here. I'm sure his team was supporting him. I'm sure his team was helping him prepare for Maru. You know, he's got plenty of Terran teammates like Coffee and like XY, and I'm sure they were able to piece together something for MacSed to bring out.
Maybe. At the same time, Maru, he's so hard to predict. I think it's one of his strengths as a tournament player. He plays builds that are honestly bad, like compared to the meta. He plays these builds that are very off meta, look very inefficient, but he can just make magic happen with just random spatterings of units. It's really impressive.
Yeah, it's one of those things where like his builds are crazy and he ends up with a really wide and strange array of units, but because his control is so damn good, he makes it work anyway. Like, that's just how amazing he is, and that is why he's in a tier of his own. But his opponent here, MacSed, you know, he's not going to take this lying down. He has a quite solid stat structure. But
Oof.
the one, the only S tier player in WTL, it's Maru.
Yeah, mate, he's got
Oh,
3 10s. This kind of takes
oh,
me back to like as a kid playing FIFA, and you're always trying to work out like who's got the highest score out of Messi and Ronaldo, and yeah, Maru absolutely maxing out those stats there.
yeah, he's Messi and Ronaldo combined, mate. He's crazy, Papi, with almost a perfect 100 total score. Maybe you can make an argument that he should have 100. Maybe he should have just 10 all around. I do think that he should probably probably deserves a couple more points in offense. Let's be honest.
Yeah, I've seen him especially in TVTs lately, just completely pull apart some of the best players in the world, players like Beyond, players like Ryung or Dream. But here we have his opponent in the top right-hand corner playing for IG. It is MacSed.
And in the bottom left, the man himself representing Onsyde Gaming, it's Maru.
Yeah, I mean, we don't have a TVT here, but yeah, Maru has shown time and time again that against even the best players of the world, he can just pull them apart. I remember seeing him 2-racks Hero Marine, and there's just little things that he does where you just see these little micro techniques, these little adjustments that he makes to his opponents, and you can just really tell that he is leagues above anyone else sometimes.
Yeah, it's insane. It's insane what he can pull off. There we go. He even has his G5L trophy just behind him as well on that lovely trophy case. Meanwhile, MacSed gonna be pulling a little bit of a Patty Mac here. Not quite as Chad energy, but gonna be already set up here, smudging a little bit as he sets up a proxy.
Yeah, it does have that hood up as he's setting up this proxy gateway. So this is a build that's been quite popular lately. This is something that I have faced every day. Sandcastle just loves to do this on the ladder all day, every day.
The call outs are real. Name dropping here.
But yeah, this is a popular aggressive build that a lot of Korean Protosses do like to use against Terran, but against a player of the caliber of Maru, this should be, well, interestingly, actually not going for a scout here. So I think MacSed's done his research.
Ooh, exactly is what I mean. You know, you are given a week to prepare for your opponent, and MacSed has come out with that proxy gateway. Zealot is already on the way, going to be rushing across the map. Reaper is going to be moving out, but it will not be at home to defend.
Yeah, so Zealot heading out. We just see those Chief Stalkers being started up right away. And for Maru, if he had scouted this, having a bunker set up on that high ground does make this a lot easier to defend. But he does get the scout on the Zealot, and that should be setting off some warning signs in his head. But we are just going to be seeing him skirmishing, trying to take that one out first.
Yeah, alarm bells should be ringing. We already have another Reaper on the way, as well as these Hellion Stalker finally reveals himself. Finally, Maru is aware of that proxy.
Yeah, so just gonna pull some SCVs here. I'm loving this because I would like to know the best way to hold this build.
You're like, I'm taking notes, puppy. Give me a moment. I need to scribble this down.
Yeah, so he's going to be pulling those SCVs. He's going to start skirmishing with the Reapers and the Hellions. Very nice micro there, pulling back the herd Reapers. And oh, wow. Does just manage to lose that one, but he is completely denying any momentum of MacSed.
Exactly. One Zealot already going down. One Stalker as well. We do see non-stop Reaper production actually from Maru as he just continues to pump them out one after the other. The Hellion comes in from behind and the Adept goes down and the repairs are coming in.
Oh, the repair is absolutely clutch there. And Maru, he is so confident to chase down these units. 8 in micro, you've got to be kidding me.
I know, right? 8 in micro, what? Question mark? As Maru, he didn't even SCV scout this game, by the way. He came across the Zealot in the middle of the map, and he still is shutting this down. The pylon is not long for this world.
Yeah, this is kind of insane that he shut this down this hard without scouting. And really not with the best build for dealing with it either.
You're like, oh my god. Like
it's kind of insane.
Like the game, I guess the proxy gate is just bad. It's
the strategy is just micro perfectly.
Yeah. Meanwhile, you know what? MacSed is not deterred because you take down one proxy gateway, 2 more rise in its place. We do have another being set up, but will it even matter because Maru's across the map?
Yeah, Maru is relentless, doing a really good job with the Hellions there, lining up the Adept. He's going to start to get the bounces on these Stalkers. He takes it personally that his micro is not getting the 10 out of 10, and he's going to trade so well with these units. He's just being suffocating right now.
Yeah, exactly. He's going to be forced back for the time being, but again, he's just not allowing MacSed to get a critical mass of any kind of gateway units. He even goes for the 1-1-1, goes for the medevac just so he can, again, be even more...
Bringing in SCVs. Oh
exactly. Mate, remember, he was, what, 8 in offense as well? Nah, mate.
He's such a troll. This is something that I wanted to talk about before. Maru has shown in World Team League recently that when he feels very confident in a series, he's willing to go for some really crazy strategies, some very aggressive strategies, and we are seeing that here once again. Something we also saw against Ragnarok, where once he was up 3-0 in that series, he was just going crazy with it, breaking out the mech, and yeah, very nice micro trading so well with these units here, and just dancing back and forth with that medevac.
I mean, Maru knows how to have fun. We have a citizen's arrest, we have a surround on that tank, but mate, we have a second tank where that came from. Maru is not slowing down at all. His push did get cleaned up, but again, the trades weren't amazing here for MacSed. He does have a third Nexus on the way, though.
Yeah, but this pressure is insane. Maru can do so much with so little. He is not going to get too crazy here. He's going to back off. He doesn't really have the medevac support to be staying here, but yeah, some pretty nice trades coming out there.
Yeah, definitely. Meanwhile, that gateway is now set up and running, but MacSed just hasn't been able to make use of it because he's been forced to just reinforce back at home and spend his warpins at home instead. Charge is going to be on the way. MacSed is looking to stabilize a little bit here. His probe count's not looking too bad, especially once this Nexus gets up and running.
Yeah, Maru, this is a really nice reaction to the fact that he has chipped away at so many of the units of MacSed, and also the fact that MacSed is expanding. He's going to be going for a 5-rack, so he's actually going to be playing very aggressively against MacSed here.
Yeah, he's going to be going for a follow-up push. MacSed, what's interesting is that these gateways, these proxy gateways, have they're multi-purpose because they also allow him to know, okay, we're still on 2 bases. You know, no third is being taken whatsoever. So hopefully he can take that knowledge and be able to prepare himself here at his third. Charge is going to finish up in time for this push. Oh, we do have a Dark Shrine on the way, and I do like this because, again, Maru is only working with 2 orbitals.
Yeah, that's right. But at the same time, this push of Maru, this is going to be gearing up to move out now. We are seeing that he has made 3 tanks. This is, and he's going to continue to keep making tanks. So, yeah, this is going to hit really hard when he does move across the map.
Yeah, exactly. And also bear in mind that we do have a Raven with the army as well, so we may not even need scans to deal with those DTs. MacSed, I'm sure he's going to be looking to try and snipe that Raven whenever he can to take advantage of that.
Yeah, Maru way too fast for that. He's just going to be ducking back, and we do see this huge SEV pull as well. So, yeah, Maru realizing the tech of MacSed is so suppressed is going to be... Wow. Micro's nuts. So good.
He just juggles those tanks in the end. We had a warping of Zealots at that proxy location, but again, the Zealots get cleaned up. Nice siege as well, getting a volley off on those Stalkers, and Maru will not be deterred. He's pushing out across the map, and he even has reinforcements at home to defend.
Yeah, it does get that anti-armor missile off. He's going to be losing the Raven, but does mean that he gets that shield battery down extremely early there. Those SCVs managing to top up the tanks on the way to the push here as well. And wow, absolutely dominating push here. Very well done, recognizing just how far ahead he was in the army.
Yeah, exactly. And there we go. Upon seeing the DT, he throws out a missile turret as well in the natural base of MacSed, so he doesn't have to waste any of those scans.
He's so cool. Yeah, as we do see that scan going down, as soon as that DT shows up, this turret is going to be finishing up, even getting a second turret, even a third turret. Wow, this is so aggressive.
He's leapfrogging with the turrets, Poppy. He can't be stopped.
Yeah, and he is barely losing a unit here, as that tank is going to deny that DT. Going to get that second shot off as well, and Maru just absolutely all over this army of MacSed.
Yeah, we do see the reinforcements are being cut off, but at the same time, the main army is still something that MacSed cannot deal with. The boys are being pulled. Every probe is going to be going down as well as the main base. MacSed knocked down to only a single Nexus. And what is he really hoping for here? He's warping in as many DTs as possible.
Yeah, I don't know. We are seeing those pylons going down. We're seeing all the production being taken out. The tank's going to be shelling away at those probes. And yeah, Maru with his trademark Complete lack of reaction.
GG. Also, I don't know if you noticed there, but those were some Pro League trophies behind Maru. Oh my god.
I didn't notice.
Yeah. Towards the bottom shelf, there were some P's there. That was the Pro League logo. I don't know if those were. I don't think those were the trophies given to Jin Air, but I think those are the MVP trophies that Jin Air got, that Maru got as well. Blast from the past. Nice. On top of that, also very well done there by Maru.
Yeah, that was pretty brilliant by Maru. Knows how to put on a show. It's something that, I was referring to it in his TVT. He was so aggressive with tank pushes in some of his games, just constantly on the front foot, microing his heart out, trying to put on a show there. And he's done the same against MacSed this time as well. And very good recognition of the situation as well. Good killer instinct to just go for the all-in there.
Yeah, good killer instinct, and also just doing it in style. You were talking about it, right? About how he randomly just picked up 2 SCVs and a tank, just go across the map, and we'll see what we get done. It doesn't kill him, but it just trades better anyway. And even with pulling the boys, just leapfrogging turrets time and time again. Style points, mate. Look at that. Look, that offense, that's not even 8. That's is that like a 6? Like, what? That's crazy.
And it's MacSed that's got the 6. He's got 8.
Okay, regardless, anything less than a 10 is an offense.
Yeah, I agree, and he's got the 9 in micro as well. I don't know. I think 10 in micro is in order. He kind of. I don't think it would be that unreasonable to just give him 10s all around. To be honest, he kind of sets the meta. Like
he sets it,
Yeah. But meanwhile, we do see it. MacSed with his map choice is going to be picking Cosmic Sapphire. How much of a troll do you think Maru is? Do you think he plays mech?
Oh, God. There's no way, right? Right? I mean, he likes to have fun, sure, but in a best of 2, we'll do it.
I mean, if there's any map that you're going to play mech on against Protoss, I think Cosmic Sapphire is really good because you can open BC. There's good dead space behind the mineral lines. You have a lot of room to react, and Maru often plays a very high tank count defensive style on this map anyway.
You're not wrong, mate. And here we go. The man with the plan spawning in. Oh my god, the top left-hand corner. IG, MacSed.
And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner for Onsyde Gaming, it is Maru.
How many boys were pulled? That is the question. Okay, only a single SCV moving out into the center of the map. I was curious if we were going to see 2, but no, only one. Only one. Sensible.
Yeah, so with this double gas opener that's been so popular that Maru really did actually popularize, I think that's an important thing to point out as well, is that it became meta because Maru just did it every game and still beat Hero, beat all sorts of very, very high caliber Protosses. So it showed that you can use it as a standard build, not just as a surprise build. You can also just put your axe wherever and just do the same build.
Just put it wherever you want, mate. It doesn't even matter. It doesn't need to be at home. It could be across the map. It could be in the middle of the map. It could be on the side of the map. It is just there. MacSed is going for a bit of a probe scout, but again, unlikely that he's going to come across the proxy.
Yeah, I do remember actually, I managed to get on these dark double gas Maru builds really early because I saw him playing against Zest, where he played this best of 5, where all 5 games, he played the exact same opener, but he'd just put his racks in different spots. So like sometimes it was like near his third, sometimes it was in his base, sometimes it was proxied, and it was just the same opener every time, but different rack spots.
Yeah, Beyond did the same thing. Sometimes it's like hidden in his own main base, third, natural, middle of the map. It was his go-to during the 2K Atmospheres era in the previous season. But here we go. We even have a bunker being set up in that mineral line. How good is the RNG?
Yeah, we are seeing this Zealot did get made quite early for MacSed. Really nice control with the SCV there as well, just making sure that it doesn't bounce out on the Zealot side.
Yeah, I say RNG, but really when it's in the hands of Maru, it's anything but, mate, as he is going to be looking to finish up this bunker. Can he do so? That bunker is getting pretty low. Oh, but the repairs, is it enough? Up!
That is just going to go down, but yeah, this is, normally against a Zealot, I think most people just cancel the bunker, but Maru is showing that he doesn't care. He's going to do a little bit of perfect micro there, just making sure that SCV bounces out on the side where it can get the repair straight away, hidden inside the minerals. Like, there's so much that has to go right there.
Yeah, definitely. Again, I do think that that's just Maru just enjoying himself, as you were saying. He's like, you know what, screw it. Let me just commit to the bunker anyway. Why not? Because, if it finishes, then happy day.
Yeah, we are seeing once again, he's going to be pumping those Hellions and Reapers just from a more forward position. So these Reapers are going to be able to get so much damage on these gateway units of MacSed. And yeah, once again, we're going to see that MacSed just doesn't get a moment to breathe.
Yeah, and speaking of not breathing, interesting choice here. MacSed, I believe, did not go for a Twilight Council opener. We have a Robo on the way instead.
Yeah, feeling the pressure. He's going to be going for a very early Robo as we see this Stalker running back to the Shield Battery, but the Shield Battery is not done in time. Mario going to be losing a few units for his troubles, but yeah, that Stalker pretty instrumental for the defenses of MacSed.
Yeah, exactly. Very crucial there, especially because Maru is going for a follow-up Cloak Banshees instead. I thankfully there is going to be a detection as an observer is going to be on the way, but how much anti-air are we going to have, especially with immobile Stalkers, bearing in mind they will not have Blink?
This is so sick. He's made 5 Reapers and 3 Hellions, all one at a time, just churning them out, keeping MacSed on his side of the map, keeping all this pressure out, even forcing a Chronoed Immortal. Wow, MacSed feels like he is under so much pressure from these units.
Yeah, exactly. And will he be able to keep up with the pressure regardless? That is the question, even with the help of that Immortal. Would you see, again, Maru rotating over towards the natural base, instead trying to find a way into a mineral line, trying to find MacSed or wherever his army is not. It looks like, can he get this out? He will.
Yeah, I have to stress as well, this Immortal, this is such a drastic response against this build from Maru. Maybe expecting a tank drop follow-up once again.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, we'll see if it works out for him. We'll see if it does end up coming into play, just slowing down the rest of his tech. Again, still no Twilight Council. We do have, he's going straight into Robotics base for that Colossi production, but the Banshees are here.
Yeah, this Banshee is going to be ducking in here, and the Observer is ready, but it's a little out of position here. That's going to be getting so much damage.
Oh, exactly. 3 probes are going to be going down, but, the Observer was in position, relatively in position. MacSed is going to be able to shut that down.
Yes, it does take down the Banshee, but yeah, once again, we are seeing that Maru, even in that last game, he lost a few units here and there, but he was just able to keep that pressure on consistently regardless.
Yeah, we'll see if he can keep it up. We have the second Banshee coming out. We have a third Banshee behind this. He has not stopped Banshee production. Because, mate, why not? The Banshee's going to rock up. Thankfully, there is a shield battery, so only 1 probe is going to go down. It has to retarget, has to focus down said shield battery, and he will not get it.
Yeah, immediately going on top of that shield battery, but he is just going to be able to get this Banshee out on that red health.
Mate, there's a 4th Banshee on the way. There's a 4th. Okay, he cancels it. He starts a Raven. Okay, thank God.
Yeah, I think he saw the second Observer. Otherwise, he would have just been like, yeah. You know what? If you're gonna make observers, you gotta make 4 observers.
Shaking my head. Meanwhile, as we get into the swing of things, as we still have Reapers pushing out across the map, I want to say bienvenidos to all of the raiders in the chat. Enki giving us a solid raid of 28. Gracias, el hermoso, papi el hermoso. Enki is a Spanish caster in the StarCraft scene. Much love. We go way back. We got plenty of history. And thank you so much for the support. Also, massive shout out as well to the Zerg Troll for resubbing for 12 months. It's been a year. It's been a long time. It's been amazing. It's been beautiful. And the shield battery's going to die. Oh, is it? Up. Ooh.
Oh, does just get that one out of there. So yeah, thanks so much for the support, guys. As we just see Maru just keeping the pressure up. He's going to be running by these probes with the Reaper Hellion. Nice grenade there. Just going to be taking out a second probe there. Wow, just absolutely popping off here. Having a bit of fun with it.
Yeah, just a couple of probes going down. Meanwhile, that Banshee count is slowly banking up here in the top left-hand corner. They have that one-shot potential. Doesn't matter if you have a shield battery. Probes are going to be falling regardless. And as I say that, then we go 3 more probes go down, and the Banshees survive.
Yeah, he's being such a nuisance with his units there. He's just going to poke in once again with his Reapers. Maybe try to jump into the main with the Reapers, but no, sees the army is at home, and he's just keeping the pressure on.
KDA charges, they don't knock around massive units, right? That's not...
No. Yeah.
Okay. So we're not gonna be seeing some Colossi bouncing around.
That'd be such a cool way to counter them.
You're like, Maru he'll find a way. He'll do
Yeah.
it. He'll do
Yeah.
Here we go. The Banshees once again sharking around, trying to slip in towards the natural waste. It looks like MacSed does have eyes on this. He is rotating to meet them. There we go. The Stalkers do meet them in the end. But at the same time, Maru is getting ready to move out here. A bit of a timing with Stim, combat shields, and 1-1.
Yeah, and he is actually this is such a cool way to react to what's happening here. He's actually going into 8 racks and only making Marauders at the moment, so he's just going to go for a huge mass Marauder play to try to overwhelm these Colossus.
Oh boy, and we'll see if there's going to be enough to deal with that. We do have Charge finishing up, and Charge outs will be a great buffer for the Protoss if he can get enough of them.
Yeah, this is such an unusual style. This is something that we saw Cure playing around with a little bit as well. But yeah, 8 racks against Protoss, very unusual. Normally you go into that 4cc first, but yeah, Maru just gonna kind of style on him and going for this mind drop at the same time.
Oh, there we go. But at the same time, it looks like MacSed is going to be moving in position. Can he get eyes on that mind drop? It looks like he will. Stalkers are here, and the drop does get shut down.
Yeah, good denial there on that drop. He's going to be able to use his blinks as well to just bait out those mine shots, but Maru is still just getting extra use out of these Banshees. He's going to be taking down a Stalker.
Wow, finally one of those Banshees gets taken out, but as you said, trading it for a Stalker. Meanwhile, we have a Doom Drop being set up, sent across the map. MacSed does have eyes on this thanks to that Observer in observation mode. MacSed is fully aware. Meanwhile, at the same time, it has a couple of DTs being morphed in across the map.
Yeah, he's just going to be able to sneak those DTs into the main to get a little bit of extra damage while Maru is distracted with this multi-prong that he's setting up.
Yeah, we'll see if he can pull it off. We'll see if he can pull apart the attention of Maru, how the turns do table. The main army of MacSed pushing out a little bit, but he has to be careful not to be out of position here because that triple drop is moving in. Oh, and he's dragging the Observer away with the Banshee!
Oh, that's so sick.
Wow!
Yeah, he just buys himself an extra little moment there to get on top of all of these pylons, and is going to be denying that +2 at the last moment as well.
Oh my god, yeah, there we go. The Forge gets focused down. The Dark Shrine, the Robotics Bay, whatever tech there is in the main base is no longer there. At the same time, we do have that War Prism slipping into the main. We do see, though, Maru is reacting and he will be able to force it back.
Yeah, zero hesitation from Maru taking out all those units. Does see the DT Shrine as well, immediately throwing down turrets at home. Is going to be able to get that detection up and, more importantly, gets the heads up as well. And yeah, having a look at the map, he's getting his 4th on location and completely denying MacSed from taking his own force. So this is very unusual in the TVP matchup, especially considering how aggressively Maru's been playing.
Yeah, exactly. You know, no one does it quite like Maru. He's looking to try and get a surround on this army, coming in from behind with Widow Mines.
Yeah, huge surround. Has the Raven here as well, so can get those disables. 2 disables going down on these Colossus, and this is an overwhelming attack coming in through Maru. Maru.
We have a bit of a recall there to just bring in whatever reinforcements we can. We have a little bit of friendly fire as well from those Widow Mines, but it looks like only one Colossus is remaining.
Yeah, and these Marauders, even through that shield battery overcharge, can just DPS through the units. And looks like Maru, with this huge medevac count, is going to be able to take this fight pretty effectively. He will be cleaned up, but not before taking some nice trades.
Yeah, he has no fear. He sticks around anyway just to get the most value he can out of his units. MacSed will survive the push, but those would eyes every setting. Oh, okay, thank God.
Yeah, cute moves there from MacSed. He's actually going to be attacking his own Stalker to get the invisible mines. Very nicely done.
Yeah, beautifully done. Meanwhile, we have that one Widow Mine waddling on in, but there is a cannon in position. The mines are going to be denied. At the same time, though, Maru is pushing on forward here with his follow-up push, with his reinforcements.
Yeah, Maru just being absolutely relentless, being insane with this pressure, just getting every little bit of aggression out that he can from his units.
He's like, give me more offensive points, Gib.
I will never stop attacking. Not until I have a 10.
Oh my god, and we'll see if he gets it after this game because every charge load is going to go down. We still only have a single Colossi here, none more in production. Widow Mine shot's going to be going off on the Prism. Oh my god, looks like the tanks are going to go down, but it is too much. GG gets called, and Maru takes the 2-0.
Yeah, Maru looking a little sleepy there. but puts on a great show for the fans and finishes up this clean sweep for Onsyde. So very nice 6-0, absolutely dominating from every player, every game. Really impressive showing.
Yeah, again, Onsyde Gaming is a terrifying team in Worlds Team League or in general, and this is not the first time that they've come out without dropping a single map. They are terrifying.
Yeah, and just the fashion that they did it in as well. They were completely dominating in all of these games. Yeah, nothing much else to say, really.
Nothing much else to say. Just a little fun watching these players just kind of come into their own a little bit, show off their personality. You know, shout out to Solar at the start of this series where he even had a celebration set up preemptively. You know, he had his coffee. I'm sure he wanted to drink it. He wanted to chow it down, but he was waiting until he finished his series before he was able to take that sip.
Yeah, slapping down the coffee, breaking my brain a little bit there, but at the same time, Neeb and Maru just, just doing their thing, letting their games do the speaking.
Yeah, letting the games do the talking, mate. So congratulations to Onsyde Gaming. As well as Team GP, we also did play out our own series, not having as much success, unfortunately. Did take a game and did have some close games, don't get me wrong. I still want to give praise to not just Vindicta, but Patty Mac and Dolan as well for their performance. Oh, and now we get into the standings. Oh my god, actually, surprisingly, Alpha X going to be rank 1 at the moment.
Yeah, very impressive there with their 5-0. Looks like they are slightly up on the point differential. Onsyde Gaming maybe going to a draw at some point. I'm not sure, or having to win in the overtime. But yeah, pretty interesting standings here as we do unfortunately see CranKy bringing up the rear, and yeah, it's going to be a bit of a battle to get out of relegation here.
It really is. Like, we had a couple of really unfortunate series against some of the other weaker teams like IG, like SSLT. Really, I would say a little bit unlucky as a result. But regardless, it's always a great showing whenever they show up. I always cheer for my boys. I appreciate the work that they put in, and we will continue to look for that win. I'm sure we'll get one before the season is over.
Absolutely. As here we are wrapping things up for this week of World Team League.
Yeah, exactly. This was the final day of World Team League for this week. We'll be back next week. As a reminder, World Team League is 3 days in a row, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So your weekend is chock full of StarCraft. Make sure you're here. We, of course, will be covering as much as we can. We'll at least be covering the CranKy Ducklings and our matches and our days. But we'll do our best to cover some of the other days as well.
Yeah, 100%. We'll be looking to cast some of those highlights. Glad we got to get a good look at Onsyde today as well. But yeah. Oh, yeah. Look at that.
Oh my god. Wow! Shout out to Onsyde Gaming, the manager, the team manager as well. Gracias, papi. Gracias. Kamsahamnida. I believe we have confirmation that is not Crank managing that channel. I'm not sure who it is. But thank you so much for the 5 gifted subs.
Yeah, thank you so much for the 5 gifted subs. A little bit of a pop-off and celebration there for that very convincing win. And we did see a message as well. Yeah, it looks like Kuro there reposting that one.
Oh my god.
Oh my god, 5 more. Wow.
Oh, 5 more. Thank you so much for the 10 gifted subs. We apologize because it did auto remove the comments because it did look like a link to at least the bot. But thank you so much for all the love, for all the support. Gracias, papi. Gracias.
Yeah, thanks so much, guys. Really appreciate it. And congratulations on today's games.
Yeah. He's confirming it's the big boss, papi. It's not Crank, it's the Crank above. Oh my god. But thank you, and yeah, congratulations on performing so well in the World Team League so far. Oh boy. And yeah, with that, I believe we're going to be wrapping up for now, but not for the day, because fun fact, our next broadcast is going to be in 1.5 hours.
Your sleep schedule.
Look, it's good to be back, okay? COVID held me back for 2 weeks, Papi, for 2 weeks. But now it never ends, Papi. In 1.5 hours, the CranKy Ducklings will be competing in Berserker Team League. Another Team League, a different format, no best of twos, instead best of ones. So the players that you saw here today will be featured once again. Of course, I won't be casting that with Asher. Asher is sane. He has his mental. He's 10 out of 10 with that. And he knows better than to stay up until 4 a.m. for StarCraft.
I don't think you need a 10 out of 10 for that. You're just like, yeah, COVID kind of knocked me out a little bit, but nothing I can't do myself. Do it the old-fashioned way.
Let's go, Puppy. Let's go. I will, of course, be casting that alongside Kuro, as it is at a bit of a better time for the European side of things. And it's going to be CranKy Ducklings going up against Storm Gaming.
Yeah, so that's a really nice matchup and a little bit of a preview as well for a World Team League matchup that we're going to have soon as well.
Definitely. But of course, best of one, so it's a little bit different. It's a straight up pro league. So yeah, I look forward to that. But before that happens, Asher, let us know what's been going on with you and where have the Asher streams been?
Didn't feel like it. But I do have the day off on Tuesday. We have Melbourne Cup Day, so I'll definitely I'll stream Tuesday and maybe a little bit tomorrow. We'll see.
Wait, you guys get like a public holiday for the Melbourne Cup?
Yeah,
that's
Melbourne's
what?
Weird.
That's crazy! Oh my god. Wait, what is the Melbourne? That's cricket, right? Is that
horse race? Yeah.
Oh, horse race.
Yeah.
I don't
I don't like it either, but I'll take the holiday.
Fair enough. So if you want some more of this man right here, Asher, where can they find you?
Yeah, at Twitch TV/AsherBro. And how about you, Mr. Light?
You can follow me at exclamation right there. Kura's good. She's on it, mate. She's on it. You can follow me at light_VIP on Twitch and Twitter. I stream throughout the week. I try and stream on a daily basis. I didn't stream today because, of course, I have been casting a lot of nonstop StarCraft today. Haven't had the moment to breathe. But tomorrow I should be back with some lovely StarCraft ladder. I believe tomorrow, or technically later today. Asher. Lucas.
Yeah. Oh, it's Halloween.
It's Halloween! Happy Halloween!
Are we watching Nightmare Before Christmas? Is it happening?
We can watch Nightmare Before Christmas. If it's on streaming, we can do this.
We'll find a way.
We'll find a way. We will find a way. So happy Halloween, everyone. I don't know if I'm gonna do anything special. I already played a horror game for my birthday on stream.
Mm-hmm.
Wasn't that scary. But it was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun regardless. So give me your ideas. We'll try and do something fun for Halloween. Maybe I'll dress up like an ape. I don't need to dress up for that.
Every day, puppy.
every day I'm an ape.
Yeah, it was Light's birthday on Saturday. Wish him happy birthday.
Oh, thank you. I don't know if you noticed, Nish throughout all this has been throwing out random quotes and like movie quotes.
He wants the movie quotes. It'll happen again. We're awful enough to keep reusing those tricks.
Or you.
For you.
That's it. I didn't even know the quote. I didn't even know what he said.
I'll send you the scene. It's great.
There we go. Oh god. So yeah, thank you so much everyone for watching. Thank you so much for the support. We'll be back in an hour and a half, and until then, enjoy yourselves. Asher, do you have anything you want to say before we head off for the night?
If Maru can do it, so can you.
Oh man, that's some copium right there. That's oh my god. Thanks for watching, everyone. We'll see you guys later. Until then, ciao.
Ciao.